Good morning, or whatever it is, wherever you are. Alright, so I think the only way we're going to track down this little freeze we've got is to actually be able to have something we can break into. So, actually... Okay, we have 2015, so that's fine. I suppose I should have checked this for downloads before I started. Could have gotten some of that stuff. Okay, FFmpeg 264 and curl. This is not a download link. Oh, welcome. Stay hydrated about is a bit of words. All right, what is the structure of this? They said where it is. They didn't say where to put it. All right, now I've just got the source folder. Install instructions. Maybe what we need to do is get that into offsite as like... So this is a... Well, so we unpack this. Okay, got Qt5. I think I've got a version of CMake from doing Stepmania. Yeah. Okay, Visual Studio, check. OBS dependencies. So we'll start with that. We have to, this is an installer. You better not make me restart. Which, like many installers, does not work with dark settings. Also, installers tend not to work very well with, what do they call it? Windows... The file and folder protection. Oh, no, I left it off at some point, probably from the previous installer. So we need downloads. Okay, we can skip. Alright, so that's going. We need to update our... Oh, this is only an offsite? Oops. So if we're already cloned... where are we at? Interesting. On master. This is just, yeah. Is there a option in pull to get the recursive? All right, verbose. Recurse submodules, I think equal yes. Get pull. Well, there was a bunch of plugin stuff that was created. Problem is I don't know what things actually are submodules. Windy show? Nothing that's like, hey, this is a submodule. Get modules. Yeah, that'll work for quick and dirty purposes. Oh, yeah, windy show. Okay, so it did appear to fetch those. How's our installer doing? Depths path, where all dependencies not including Qt. Ah, okay, path redo that. Qtder. Apparently that is pretty typical installation stuff. That's preview. I don't think I need any preview things. Oh. Minimum of 5.9. I guess there's no reason not to just take the latest stable, right? Tools and add-on components. Yeah, it's GPL. I'm not doing my own thing with it. And apparently there's some Python in here. Hello, Cynic. How are you doing today? Okay, fine. Oh, and now it has to download everything. Yeah, I should have done a little bit of prereqs first, I guess, but this is just kind of the process of doing these things. Alright, so we've got the clone, which the submodules. Create one or more. Cynic, thank you for the host. Glad you like watching install counters or progress bars. Alright. I don't know. Does it like only build things it has directories for? Is that how this works? With or without? I'm not really doing specific ones. Yeah, actually, this is like a pretty serious one, in fact. I had no idea that QT was that huge. Now does that only work if I'm using CMake GUI? Yeah, unfortunately, my Windows computer has a lot more horsepower. I've got a OS X laptop which struggles just to stream. I've actually been just doing NDI, so it doesn't have to do most of the encoding lately when I do stuff on there. I actually did have this set up to cross boot to Linux for a while, but I kind of fell out of the habit of using it and finally just repartitioned things. Well, I know I've got CMake, however I got it. But environment variables are a bit interesting in... Alright, so we need depths path. I don't really know if I'm doing cross-build stuff. Which is going to be... can I... actually... Yikes. Yeah, I had no idea it was that big. So I think... Oh, wait, it's include... oh, we've got to get into this. So actually it's this. Okay, or not. Yeah, that's not like a regular window. Okay. Did we not? Say okay? Nah, depths path. Okay. And then... QTDir doesn't exist yet, but for our purposes, we can... Well, except I don't know... This might be like MSVC 2015. We're going to have to see what this looks like. We can sort of set it up. And then we'll probably have to like restart the console or something to get that. Shame directory is depth path. Well, it was a package with those three things. Oh, this is specifically saying CMake GUI. Okay. So I don't actually have the variable set up right, but yeah, I noticed that. We can start looking at it. Source code, pay. I hate it when it does that. OBS Studio. OBS build. Build directory, right? And we can't really configure until we've got everything set up properly. Now we can see if this is properly picking up CMake GUI. Is this the environment variable section? Type cache entry. Well, this is, we're out of order right now. Now configure the depth path and the CMake. Like, I'm gonna guess, since these include things like file paths, that's what it is. I don't know where it's cache. Yeah. Qt is insane, all right. Well, I could go back to just straight up trying to do some development, pushing through the crashes for a little bit. Oh. Oh, 1527. Okay. So that would that by default be 32? MS build. Uh, do I have to like start over from scratch? Okay. Nope, that's not it. Well, no, if we've got Visual Studio, why can't we run? Did I take out? Scroll down. Had to manually install MS Build. Okay. Scroll down where? Tools? Extensions? No, let's search installed. MS Build Task Explorer. Is something that just MS Build? Build tools for Visual Studio. PowerShell. What the? Scroll down to where? Oh, scroll down on this page. The problem is that this is all 17. So I'd also have to update Visual Studio. Okay, older versions. Okay, 2015. This is just Visual Studio. So we're going to have MS Build 2017 and Visual Studio 2015? Or Build Tools, okay. Build Tools 2015. Two downloads at once, fabulous. And oh. And hello, WTF Blub. The names were the same color in that one window. I didn't see you come in. So you're just downloading. We can probably run 2 installers at once. Oh, and since we're not using this, probably better if that wasn't running. please uninstall Visual Studio? What? Is this like a better version of Visual Studio? So what I'm getting from this is I should actually install Build Tools 2017 so it doesn't conflict with the Visual Studio I have installed. Well, no, but I'm assuming Build Tools would be kind of included in the environment. Allow you to build native and managed based applications without requiring the IDE. Oh, maybe I thought that was the reason I got Visual Studio at some point, but it could have been something else. Tools. Forms for Linux development. Debuggers. Maybe this is an extension. Oh, you actually have to use the installer. Okay. So, did I actually install that on C? Or is that... I hate that. Or was this a big enough thing that I stuffed it in here? Installer. Well, let's install it with a version number. Or maybe this is something else that uses that? Oh. So you're saying we have to switch to 2017. Well, we can see if it also if it actually put it in C. Microsoft Visual Studio. Oh, this is 12. Interesting. No, it's like... So x86. Microsoft Visual Studio 1112. Well, I don't know where that is. We got 14. But I don't see an installer directory. Setup, maybe? No. I mean, I guess it's possible. I've just still got it laying around. But I do clean up on occasion. Nope. So now we essentially need to download Visual Studio installer. Because I can't find it. Oh, jeez. Why is Microsoft such a jerk? It's like, really? Oh, apparently that's not the community version. So they have no downloads for that. All right. Visual Studio IDE. Ah, modify. Yeah, I always forget about that one. Programs. Do I have it up running currently? I don't think so. I don't see an uninstall there, strangely enough. Visual C++, Windows XP. Is it extensibility tools? Windows and web development. SQL. No, this is like web on Windows. PowerShell tools? Universe, no. 8.1. Is the build tools PowerShell? And that wouldn't be MS Build if it's third party. Yeah, it's not mobile. Okay. So maybe it's just a path. Maybe it's just a path that never got set up. So we think it should be this one. An XSD? Well, it's definitely not the file itself. And we've got our usual progress bars. All right, well, I guess that's a good opportunity for me to take a break. And it's still going. Got it right at a song change, though. So there's progress bars for you, I guess. Hmm. You know, I think there was somebody else. Oh. Common.js. Okay. Another XSD, but no actual program yet. It seems like there was somebody on the OBS Discord who was trying to go through this recently. Building libsef. Oh, there's a CMake command line. Configure, generate, open. Not find ffmpeg. Misbuild ver.exe. Oh, that's a CMake thing. He's actually gotten farther than me. And this is something else. Well, can we see where that is? Nope, I have no headings to change this. Does that give me more information? No, it doesn't. Is there anything else we can do? Is there like any setup here? No. Build CMake files. Is that anything different? That didn't get very far. Delete cache. So we think we actually want to build 64. Optional tool set. cl.exe. Build tasks. No, that seems different. msys. Well, it is saying msbuild.exe. How about, what do we got for... C Windows. Wow, okay. He's saying this one, msbuild, and... Oh, msbuild is in here. But isn't this going to exist in every version of this? Yeah, so it's like, which msbuild? The path to the net. So basically just pick a framework and add it to environment variables. Okay. This is 3.5, so we go to 4. Of course, now the thing is, we're talking about building 64. Do you have a separate MS build? Yes, you do. And it is the path. This build is now installed as part of Visual Studio. Program files MS build. Oh. But I did it in... But they forced it to C? There's a directory there. Uh, 14 bin. Okay, so that's the one that's associated with... Now this is x86 only? Maybe it's the same program? And I don't think I actually have a window for environment variables. Oh, VCVARs. Well, it's VCVARs for different setups. So path. Uh, and then we're probably going to have to relaunch CMake for it to figure all that stuff out. So let's delete cache. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the source. Well, it's a different error. Failed to run. Build failed. Well, that's a much larger error. Can I get a breakpoint on this? So it ran. The build tools. What? Maybe. I guess it's not the 64 one because this is an x86. But I kind of thought that would mean... Oh, it's 7. You're right, 17. It's at the top of the list, even though it's not installed. Depreciation warning. And this is something in the OBS config, I presume. Alright, well, we got something to work, so... You took too long, goodbye. Now, this might not actually work without the Qt stuff in place, but we got through one little problem there. While we were waiting. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just took a break, thanks. Uh-oh. Yep, Qt5. Because it's not there yet. So these sure look like environment variables. Now, in theory, we have these set from environment. But this is a little bit disappointing here. So I guess this is where I could jump back to trying to do what I can with my script until Qt is actually finished downloading. Because, oh my goodness. All right, so let's do a little topic update. OBS Script. Custom source drawing while we wait for Qt to download. Update information. Update information. So I guess we're just kind of stuck on this for now. Mic check. Probably the first thing we're going to have to do here, we kind of got a copy of our minimal-ish thing. Oh, actually, we've already reset everything here. Okay. We often need the OBS reference. And second independent copy of OBS. So every time it crashes, we don't take down the stream. We've probably got like minimal crash setup. Yeah. Minimal-ish. Skip mic check. Yeah, it's actually got all this stuff going on. Have at least one instance of the filter. Well, actually, I can start with the drawing without any filters set up, and that may help the crashing. But the thing I want to draw is explicitly the list of filters I've got attached to it. Oh, and then there's text. So another thing I could do if I get the OBS is up is figure out, maybe get some feedback on why text doesn't draw. Wait, we are GDI Plus. Do I just not have my dummy text in right now? Or was I doing some scaling things? Okay, so that's an actual rule.name. And this is in source rules. So I do not have anything for... So right now we kind of need this. Yeah, okay, so we're making a little bit of progress on this. No. Projector, that's a little bit easier to read. Now, I'm not doing any translation here. No, wait, this is creating labels. No, this is video render. Yeah, so we're gonna need to translate as we go. So that creates it. This draws it every time we actually draw it. I need to get this back up and this back up. Window order. And okay, create label has a status font size. This is going to be X. No. Need script panel. Okay, that works. So what we're going for is something like this, without involving OBS WebSockets, so I don't have to remember to start it every time. So just knowing what sources I've attached things to is a step. The important thing, again, is going to be this status monitor, so I've occasionally had issues trying to figure out why an alarm was going off. We also have to do something with the default. But that's going to can probably be built on top of what I'm doing for the individual sources. So we've got a operator and we've got a possibly list of sources, which is going to make this layout really interesting. Maybe I do this as like name operator list of sources, because that makes it largely a simple linear thing without having to do any fancy layout. Also, these names can be arbitrary sizes. I haven't really thought about how to size. Once I've got this figured out, then I can make this thing size appropriately. Actually doing indent source name might work. All right. So we've got our source names. Other than the translate, that's pretty much what we had before. Yeah, the scaling was left over from what I did before. So these are if rule.name. Okay, so this is already looks like it's already only rendering for things that exist. Now I do have other sources in here, so this should still end up a little spaced out if it's off. Okay. So this is just a bunch of paranoia checking, making sure the label actually exists, because we have to make a text source essentially to render text. And we're currently doing this Windows only because I haven't figured out how to make the free type 2 text sources work. Oh, I guess I could... oh, that's the progress bar. Yay. This might not get done today. All right, so we translate down for the text we've drawn. And I guess, yeah, data.label can just be text. So, although I could just create any all. But this means we never have to, well, Yeah, I could just create them. Filter create. Yeah, no, that's a different kind of source. Create. Filter def. We need source def. Labels equals blah. We're gonna have any. OBS source release label. Okay, so that's fine. Guess I don't know if that's going to be that size. All right, video render. I do remember how much. It's probably operator. Yeah, operator. Unfortunately, I'm using lowercase, so I'm going to have to do a switch on that because it's an actual label. No. Even though this is a little bit different than normally having literal text representing the label, it's going to make my life easier. All right, video render. I suppose we should have the little safety check if rule.operator. Oh. But what if I get garbage in rule.operator? Well, we just say equals any or rule.operator equals all, and then that allows only the legal cases. And okay, so this is where it gets a little awkward. Because we have to translate for each item. And we have to translate at least once for the operator. Oh. So, because I need to move over a little bit to avoid the operator text, which would be a great place for a matrix push. But I still need to move down for the entire thing. So we're just going to have to go status indent. And then negative status indent. Or maybe I should push in and just record how many lines I put. Audio states. Is this, do we take care to make this sparse? I'm gonna actually have some of that in the script log. Yeah, actually all these are nothing right now. So I'm gonna need data to render. So normally an actual setup for this would be, going by our other one, would be all mute. And then something like this would be any live. Yeah, so it's a sparse list. So now we need another. Yeah, you know what? We should push pop. And then I can just move down by number of items in the subset that I have to go look up again. And then we need to, go up by at least one. Okay, so that's just a math.min, that's fine. Status font size times, is it min? No, max of 1 and audio states. All right, and then you actually do not go down yet. We indent, we do for state audio state in. Oh no, we do need a name. Name is a convenient key. But I think I saw the. No, it is. I do in fact need the full pair there. For do. Okay. Then we're going to need... Now this is going to have a thing like this. And a thing like that. Oh, I never actually finished doing the NEO. Or did I remove it somewhere? No, I had that line. I just messed it up somewhere. Roll.operator. Or did I capture one too many lines somewhere? No, yeah, I captured one too many line. Okay. So, get all the names. This is starting to look like a function. Let's see how bad we broke stuff. Okay, we did not get our indent. Oh, oh no, we did. To see it better, we would add something like that. Yeah, so, okay, so, it works. I guess I should leave one of those around for a sample of that. And actually, I should probably do this one, because that's going to make sure I'm getting down. Oh, now you see, I'm not doing my final push by enough. So why are you failing? Do I actually need to be min? No, well, that's even worse. Oop, 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 oop. Right. Probably because it's not numbered. I'm using a map of strings, so there are no numbers, just to be able to say the max number. Right. Let's just do a little check of something. No, I mean, rules are 2 as well. So even if it was getting the wrong thing for the pound sign, it would be... So I can count the number of things I drew. I can do a plus minus on the indent, but I still have to take care of the case that there is no source selected. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's like a finish it tomorrow. I'm like, what the heck? Hmm. No matter what I'm going to do, it's going to be dependent on the size of that. So even if I made this a wider setup, which, I mean, the dimensions are arbitrary right now. I could just make it a wider setup. Would that really help? I'd still have to know the height of each box. No, it doesn't really change the problem. I still want to do it stylistically. Now, I'm going to end up doing them in with status font size. Oh, and this is 0. Oh, we're doing max, it's fine. Oh, and we got the lock. Which is why I want to get the OBS dev environment so I can debug that, actually. Okay. So I could use color, I could use background color. You see, a background box on the video source wouldn't be so bad. Maybe indent the any-all a little bit itself. Well, no, the box will do that. But I have to actually set up stuff to do. Oh, they were using the draw sprite nil trick. So we do this. Yes, a status width. Status font size. Oh, I might want to change the color. Actually, select one. Oh, because I indented it by a margin. Hmm. And then that comes back to bite you. And I guess if I took out the margin on the other side, it wouldn't be so bad. That wasn't quite the original effect I was going for. So that kind of works, but it works on the sort of implicit assumption that it's acting as a heading. And I do have to find a way to clearly delineate sections if I go for more of a wider format. But I at least have things, well, I don't yet have the state. But those are going to be, once again, some pre-known entries. And actually, it'd be great if I could do something fancier with this later. But the cool thing is, this is just going to be a source. So if I manage to replace it with a graphic later, then it'll just kind of fall in. Oh, you know what? I was using some pixel art for this before, wasn't I? And then ideally, we might want to do that in color. Oh. But I don't know how wide the text is. So that was an easy thing to do in HTML, but I kind of have to do... All right, we can do a quick check for that. It's going to be all, yeah, messed up. And then we kind of have to do... Oop, got too much there. a translate. I mean, indent's probably going to be too much here. This could possibly be a little bit less. Yeah. And that would also be up for O. Right, text color is a property of the label source. I might need to... yeah, right now I've got my mutes on the default, so I probably should get that rendering at some point. Oh my goodness. QT is insane. So we should have you, I think. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, this is all this stuff. Okay. Beginning to format. Status. Monitor. So. So right now. So we've got effect solid, we've got color param. Which I can just grab anywhere. Got our status margin. So there's a rule.name. So the appropriate level of abstraction here, I think. I think it's been before. All right, so I never ended up using these. I don't currently expect to use them. Status item. We need a name and a... Oh, it's a rule. It just doesn't have a name. Whereas source rules do include the name property. All right, so we got you, then we replace rule.name. Actually, that's enough to do. Let's replace rule.name with name. And then either we have to pass effect solid and color param in there. Or we have to reacquire them every time. Oh, but now I've got another name. All right, so we've got source rules, source status item, rule.name, rule, and status item default rule. Oh, attempt to call field. Oh, a little too much. A little too much search and replace there. Oh, yeah, that. With all my labeled stuff in it. And crash. Oh. Oh. Now you see, this is why I tried to use those functions in places. Yep. All right, and this is where it's almost more of a little x, isn't it? Oh, it'd be misaligned then. So I guess the other question is, since we had OBS source up, we're program file, blah blah blah. Well, no, where is it in actual OBS installation? Because these graphics have to be somewhere, right? Although they might be theme, yeah. They're theme specific. Well, maybe. They can be theme specific. Mute checkbox. Oh, they're styling a checkbox with an image. All right, so to actually match OBS styling, and I guess I could pick one since these are default themes. You know, I'm currently doing a dark background, so I could just pick the dark colors. Although I have to figure out the right things to do it. But I mean, it should just be an image source. Anyway, extract status item render and add default rule. And I might eventually want to do something like with the other setup where I can sort of de-emphasize ones that aren't active right now. You know what? This is serviceable. Making these fancy can come later. What the real purpose of this status update is to be able to see what the current status of this audio source is. So that is going to have to be audio sources, which is going to be the audio status value. It's going to be audio sources name. We've got the name. And if status equals the thing we care about, then it's... Ooh. That's going to be a color property of something. Oh, wait. Speaking of which, I could probably do a color property of these labels. Assuming that an actual label has a background color. But I think that's going to be a tight box versus a wide box. So I want to look if they're actually here. Yeah. This is the one I copied from my other computer, which actually had free type text for JF2 source. Oh, I don't know if it ever messed with color. Color 1, color 2. That may have... Do you have color 1, color 2? There's a color. A background color. I guess that's color 1, color 2? Unless I had that on a gradient. But that's just a gradient color, not a color 1, color 2. So maybe it's color 1? Oh, what's worse, it appears to be storing as an integer? Well, no, from my perspective, I can just do set int with a hex value and it'll be fine. Oh, that's outline. Which has an outline color. Well, I guess we're going to run with color. Well, and then we have to actually look at what does a GDI plus look like. Which is what we actually have to use for the moment. Which one are you in? Basic. That's scenes. Actually, it probably wouldn't hurt to check that instance. OBS Studio config. Basic scenes. We actually have to have, what is my main text color? Okay, it's... Oh, well, I was playing with these options so I could see those being set. Is there another... No, that's my only text right now. No, this is an actual GDI plus, though. Which is what I'm using right now. So it's just color. But I need to be able to change color. Surely you can get a source's settings. And that is a source setting, not a font setting. Source create private. Get source defaults. Get source properties. No, that's properties T. I want update the settings. Source get settings is incremented, so must release. Okay, so create label. This is actually going to be pretty involved. So let's actually pull this out. Local set label color. Local function. So we can check. Or actually, it's going to be an if equals bail. Local settings equals obs.obs source get settings source, and we have to call obs data release settings when we're done. So if settings, see if it's equal nil, there shouldn't be a reference count to worry about. So we can once again say if it's equal nil, then return. OBS data set int, I believe, what I'm seeing in there. Settings, color, color. All right, so in, actually it's in status item. Yeah, you iterate through. So as we go to render the name, we have to say, we've got state. Well, that's part of rendering the label stuff. I guess it makes sense there. If audio sources of name not equal to nil, and audio sources of name, how did I do that? Status. Dot status equals, I guess I should have called this for consistency. No, there's a two-level thing here. If it's equal, no, actually that works. Then set label color. Data up, and hey, it's been another whole hour. Data.labels name. And our color, basically what we're doing before, it should be these. I want this to be yellow. So RGB else okay, is this copy? But I need the script panel actually. No, every window what I want. Or we could bit the random crash. I mean, or it could be a caused crash, but mostly we just get the random crashes, I think. Oh, bad argument to pairs. $6.14. Statuses. Okay. I need to load this to address the problem. Excuse me? Oh, did we lock up? That script reload bug. All right, so we are currently in that state. Actually, hide it. Okay, so something's not working. It could be any number of things. This terrible thing is that video render runs a lot. No, actually, this is... so actually, let's go ahead and... do this so that I can have an else. Script log found, script log, yellow, white, not found. Found yellow, found white, found white, found yellow. Okay. The crashes are so much more common when I'm actually doing work. If I try to reproduce it, it takes 20 tries. Scripts. All right, we're not spamming this anymore. So either I'm not setting color properly or I'm setting the wrong value for color. So we know that 170 was some kind of red from doing our little BRB test. Script panel. Apparently Arial is actually the default font here. For OBS at least. Oh, I get... We have to call settings update. It's just a copy. I saw source update. And man, is it a time thing maybe? Instead of a... It seems like it frequently happens when I come back after a while. It's changing. It's not changing in the right way. Okay, let's try our color again. So it increments the settings, and it does not actually the thing it's... Well, it just forces it to call update. I don't have settings up yet. Or scripts. Well, that was a kind of red, and 170 would be something in the red-only range. That would be... Actually, that's low bytes? Okay. So, I need to know... Because I'm using status right here. To draw different things. But they all change in lockstep. Oh, also, if that is the case, then this might not be a proper color. No? Script log. Yellow, white, white, yellow, white. Okay, we have other labels. So I need to do this. Oh, I need to print these if name equals podcaster. And crash. Scripts, script log. So yellow, yellow, white is the right pattern. White, yellow, yellow. So what I'm taking from this is that there is some sort of deferred execution pipeline. And only the final color matters. Well, it did say that updates to settings are deferred until the next video render. Now, it's going to end up calling video render. So, for audio sources, I actually have to have two instances of every single one. I have to have a white one and a yellow one. Maybe the answer here is to draw a box behind it. I kind of liked this. Wow. Okay. The slightly more subtlety of changing the color of the text. But I kind of don't want to have to make, and we can do, name dash white, name dash yellow. And then actually put color as a parameter to the create function. Yeah, that also solves the red text problem. So, settings. Then we don't have any of this stuff. We do have to mind color. And these colors are a little bit weird. Text yellow is red, yellow, blue. And this is text colors in GDI plus. Fun, fun, fun if I have to switch it. Or I have to come up with a byte switch routine in Lua. Oh, any and all are going to need both versions eventually. You know what? A dark red is actually probably not going to show up well in that background. That might actually be a slightly brightened yellow too. We'll have to see. Yeah, it's title. We'll do these for our initial transition here. There is going to be something here. We have all of our labels. I think so. Oh. I must have copied a bool. Yep. Oh, you jerk. Got what? Got nil. I probably typoed a color somewhere. Because Lua likes to do that to you. That wasn't color white, it was text white. That looks like that red is actually too bright. Yeah, it's a little bit too bright. That's the other one has more fill, so it's easier to make out. Okay. So when we get down here, audio states. So I guess. Oh, there is a All right, so we should be able to put this back to here to make sure we have a definite thing happen. Which I could have also done here. Actually, I kind of don't like that. Uh-oh. Then expected. Yep. And the freeze again. So I'm wondering if it's more of a time thing than a... Huh. Maybe I'll throw that into the bug report. Oh, that's just not rendering at all. Oh, gosh. Oh, right. Well. Let's assume that those are going to happen in lockstep, and that will almost certainly kill it, creating tons of sources. Oh, it's still kind of running. Not very well, though. Oh, no, it's dead. Well... Don't know which bug that was. Still don't have it quite right. Okay, I only created them once. But we did not get a drawable thing out of the deal. Now, text in general is still working. Oh, okay, well, we didn't actually make it yellow because we changed stuff. But that doesn't change the basic problem here. What the heck? Yep, nope. Got a random crash. What? Okay, that renders. Wait. So is that the only difference? What? What? No. Oh. Because I was checking to see if it exists before I drew it, but it got way more complicated than it used to be. Right. So this... Can we just try a little... Does OBS do something smart like a nil check in its own source code? Apparently it does. Oh, yeah, that was a freeze. If Qt would ever download, I could actually try debugging that. Maybe. But anyway, oh, that was my cox. Okay. Those actually respond now. Alright, get status, get diff, got text colors, label takes a color, all those take colors. You have to individually check that. All of that got re-indented. Colored labels showing audio state. So the next challenge would be to do the any-alls, which actually involves kind of doing a little bit of rule processing. And that's not so much graphics as just making sure I have a little sub-function that does the appropriate rule checking. So it's like I'm doing all that checking here for the yellow, but that's not mindful of the rules behind any's and alls that actually does triggering. Though I already have a function for it. Run rule. We've got the rule. It's also returning a timeout, but that's fine. So that's actually pretty easy. Oh, we got all the video. Status item. Oh, but first we have to actually make the labels. Yeah. I was wondering if I could do this somewhere outside of the render function, setting the colors, but I still only one label is being used multiple times. Okay. So this gets way more complicated. Actually, it's just if run rule. We've got a rule here, right? we've got an else status dash yellow else status dash white. And now it's probably going to crash because we've been away for a while. Oh. No, instead that didn't render anything. Oh no, it's just this. No, I'm in the audio states loop. This is all wrong. I need rule.operator. And now we get the crash. One of these days I'll find that. And I see colored text. That is any, so that is correct. Okay. Sneeze. Commit -m. Color operators to show status. All right, and that is a minimally functional thing. Wow, so future, actually I have a notes document. Visual feedback. Kinda. So we've got the free type 2. Jim said just use free type 2, but we don't actually have a way to can't use free type 2 on Windows. Or I don't know how to use it. I might actually have to just move the script over to the OS X sometime. So free type 2. We've got mute icons. Can we make an image source with some of the images built into OBS? Image path. We need to figure out what that is. See if that's actually available to scripts. I'd have to be extra careful of the licensing on this one, but I guess I could just copy the icons. No, I think it might be GPL, so as long as the script ends up GPL, it's fine. All right, and then anything else would just be... Oh, I now have a place where I can show alarm status timer. Oh, and that kind of shows. I Highlight alarming rule. De-emphasize invisible sources. Well, invisible is the wrong word. Sources not in current scene. All right, and that is me wrapping up for later. It is about lunchtime, and we're kind of at a breaking point in terms of laying out this stuff, and a real long breaking point in terms of downloading Qt. So making an image source for the icons will be an interesting little exercise, and then the rest of this is just kind of layout and highlighting and all that stuff. Did I actually get... I did not. So that's it for today. Thanks to Deadly Taco, Structurally Phased, Asarat Gaming, Stormy Ice Leopard, CS Dev, One Jellybean, Joy Chef Rapey, Sanic343, Haskin TV, and Catnox for hosting me. Let me see if I can find anything to recommend. I'll probably be working on some variant of this for the next couple mornings. Although I'm going to be back to OBS Devons once we actually have Qt downloaded, which hopefully will happen by tomorrow. The rest of the day I'm going to be doing just errands and stuff. Catching up on all the life things. Let's see, do we have any other coding going on? I am not seeing any so far. All right, how about, let me just check on the situation. Okay, definitely still going. Okay, Sir Meerkat Gaming is playing Frostpunk. Looks like a cool game. I hope to get to it someday, but I've got a long list of other stuff to look at. But if you're looking for someplace cool to hang out, that's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye-bye.